Hello guys, it's Toxicide here from ToxicideGaming, bringing you another monk build today. This time it's going to be a lot more in-depth and detailed, so let's get started. Okay, firstly, people ask, like, what stats, base stats do you need, like strength, dex, int, vitality? What base stats do you need to do Act 3? Well, from my experience, I can't exactly farm Act 3 yet, but from what I've gathered reading forums and guides and stuff on monks, basically what you really need is 2k dex, because dex gives you damage, it gives you dodge, and it gives you armor, but it only gives you armor with Seize the Tentative passive skill, which I think all monks use, because if you don't then you're just completely retarded. So, let's get back to this guide. So 2k dex is perfect for Act 3. Vitality, you want to go for about 35,000 life. I've got just over 36,000, which is good for Act 3, but I don't quite have enough armor and dex yet. So armor wise, you want to go for at least 6k armor. You could probably push it for about 5.5k, and then also you can use Mantra of Evasion, which gives you 20% more armor. So you could use that if you don't have enough armor. And you need about, I'd say about 40k damage to do Act 3, should be substantially enough. But really guys, what you want to do is get as much damage as possible and stack as much dex as possible. Get 35k life, and that's a life sword. And get as much armor as possible, because really you're going to need to survive a lot in Act 3, because Act 3 is really hard. Well, really hard for me anyway, I don't know about anybody else. You want to go for about 5 to 700 resistance to all elements. Do not stack pure resistance, because that will not work. And you need about, I'd say 5 to 1000 life on hit, depending what you feel you need. You might not even need any life on hit. This just makes life a lot easier if you use life on hit. So, gear wise, let's go into gear. Well, we'll start with actual gear, not weapons or anything. You do not want to put resistance, any resistance whatsoever, on your hands, your rings, or your necklace, because you can stack it on all the other gear, on your head, your shoulders, your chest, your belt, your legs, your feet, and your bracers. You can stack it on all them things, but do not stack it on the rings, necklace, or the hands. So starting off with the hands, you want to go as high dex as possible, try get some vitality, try get crit hit damage, attack speed, and crit hit chance. But I know with crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and attack speed, all those three, getting them with high dex costs a lot of gold, maybe like 10-15 mil plus. So just try and get as good hands as possible. For shoulders, just go try get your dex, your vitality, and double resistance and life globe, because people underestimate how good life globe is. It is absolutely amazing. You kill one elite pack, like one monster, one NPC from an elite pack, you pick up its life globe, you're back to full health again. It is ridiculously like overpowered, and I'm not even joking, it is amazing. For the head, you want to get, my head isn't exactly good, but you want to get resistance, dex, try get crit hit chance, and you need a socket for the 50 well, to put a gem in to get life, depending on what gem you have. For necklace, you want to get dex, try get vitality, and try get crit hit chance, crit hit damage, or attack speed. Bracers, you just want to go dex, vitality, resistance, crit hit chance. Chest, pretty standard, just dex, vitality, resistance, and sockets. Belts, just the exact same. Legs are the exact same. Feet are the exact same. Rings, you want to go for dex, crit hit damage, crit hit chance, and attack speed. Basically same as the hands, same with all the rings. Now coming on to weapons, basically weapons, what you need is, you need high DPS, you need dexterity, some life on hit, you need crit hit damage, attack speed, sockets. You want to try to get as much damage out of your weapons as possible, because if you can get the damage out of your weapons, it makes life a hell of a lot easier trying to get gear. Trust me, I know from experience, as you can see, I only roundabout do 28k DPS. But anyway, let's move on to the actual build itself. So for my primary, I have Fist of Thunder, Thunderclap. So as you're trying to attack enemies, you teleport towards enemies and you deal damage, which makes it so much quicker trying to kill enemies. For my right click ability, I'm using Sweeping Winds with Cyclone. So my first 3 crits will get me 3 stacks. Once I get 3 stacks and I crit again, I spawn a Cyclone that does 20% weapon damage as lightning damage. And if you have a lot of crit hit chance, which I have quite a bit, there's 26.5%, I spawn a shitload of Cyclones. Like, I mean a shitload, so it does crazy damage. Number 1, I'm using Breath of Heaven with Blazing Wrath. Excuse me, guys. Number 2, I'm using Serenity with Ascension. Number 3, I'm using Blinding Flash with Faith in the Light for a damage boost for 3 seconds. I get an extra 30% additional damage. Then mantra wise, I'm using Mantra of Conviction with Overall because it is amazing. Best mantra you could ever get, and I'm not even joking. Sorry guys, I've just got like a bit of a throat problem, so what else? Yeah, Mantra of Conviction increases your damage by 12%, but with the Overall it increases it by 24%, an additional 48% for the first 3 seconds. One with everything from the first passive. For my second passive, I'm using Seize the Intentative, which gives you an extra 100% armor of your dexterity. And then Beacon of Utar, I'm using, well, it reduces all your cooldowns by 15%. You can switch out Beacon of Utar with Resolve if you feel you take too much damage, so just whichever one you want to go for, really. But I like the reduced cooldowns. So really guys, that's all I have to say, but I just want to say one more thing before I cut off this video. People think that monks don't do a lot of damage, but that is total utter bullshit, because if a monk does 50,000 damage, it says on his attributes he does 50,000 damage. That is not true, he does way more. If he's using Mantra of Conviction, he will do another 24% on top of that, which is like, he'll be doing like 65k just from the Mantra of Conviction. On top of the Cyclones, if he has a lot of crit hit chance, he will be doing at least 80k damage with the Cyclones he puts out. So when people say monks don't do a lot of damage, they just don't add up everything. So that's it for today guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is Toxicide from ToxicideGaming, over and out.